Hi guys, my name is Mary. I'm going to be doing the second half of March reading for you all. March 16th through the 31st reading for Gemini. How are you all today? I am doing great. I hope you all are too. This is for your sun, moon, and rising signs. I've already meditated on the cards, you all, before I start the video. And if it doesn't resonate, you might want to try your other signs. And it takes me a minute. Please be patient. All right, let's see what we got. The Ace of Wands. Nice. The Eight of Cups. The Nine of Wands. The Five of Wands. The Fool card. And the Seven of Swords. You're clarifying the Ace of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, and the Six of Pentacles. Codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. You know, this can come in different forms. This can be partying too much, but it can also be other addictions. Working too much, eating too much. Religious factors. Your love life is influenced, excuse me, your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. That might be for some of you. Healer of emotion. This is a time to follow your heart and feel the fullness of your emotions. You may feel so compelled to nurture others that you forget to care for yourself. Flashes of intuition provide you with incredible insights. You or another person is a kind, tender-hearted, loving, and trustworthy friend. Do you guys forget to care for yourself sometimes? Healer of thought. It's time to clean up your life. Get rid of anything that clutters your space or makes you disorganized. People who take from you but don't give back should be released as well. You or another person involved in this situation is wise, insightful, and caring, has a wonderful sense of humor, and offers a lot of life experience. Well, you guys might be getting rid of some clutter in your life looking at these cards. Give me just a minute, okay? I have a feeling that for some of you, you have either been going through a little bit of nonsense lately, or it might be coming up, and I'm sorry to say that. Especially when I get the Five of Wands, the Nine of Wands, the Five of Swords, and the Eight of Cups. I almost feel like that there may have been, I feel like that this is for more than one situation, or maybe more than one person involved that you're dealing with. Because I'm getting a lot of mixed feelings, but I'm getting a lot of stress and aggravation, people picking on you, people wanting to argue with you, people wanting to blame you for things that might not even be your fault. And especially when I get these over here, these codependency and this religious factors, it makes me feel like, let's say, okay, this is an example. if you're in a relationship and somebody's codependent on something, and it could be partying too much and things like that, and I hope it isn't, but it could also be them working too much, or it could be you working too much, eating too much. You depend too much on your phone, possibly. You depend too much on someone else maybe in your life. And then I feel like that there might be some kind of drama. There might be some kind of a tiff or an argument or a disagreement. And it starts pulling you away from someone in particular. Now, when I get this Eight of Cups, this means that you are turning your back on someone or something or a situation because you just don't want to put up with it anymore. Because when I get this card, this card, this card, it almost makes me feel like you've been putting up with it and been putting up with it, and all of a sudden it's just like you crack, right? Because you can only put up with something for so long. Now, for some of you, this could be your co-workers or your job situation. For some of you, it could be your children or your family, your parents, your siblings. And some of you, it's your friends. But especially when I get the religious factor too, I almost feel like possibly for maybe a handful, and this may not be for that many people, you could possibly be in love or in very deep like with someone that you know that you can't marry. And maybe that's where this argument and bickering and quarreling is coming in. And then you just finally turn your back either on your parents or your family members or your church possibly, or possibly you're turning your back on the person that you love. Because with this Nine of Wands, it's almost like every time you take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. Usually with this Nine of Wands, you feel like you're wounded. It's a wounded warrior. But he's determined, if you can see his face. I mean, he has that look on his face like he's going to keep going no matter what. So I have a feeling that sometimes when I get this card, it feels like challenges and obstacles and people throwing things at you and aggravation. Sometimes it's one of those days that you wake up and say, why on earth did I get out of bed this morning, right? When it rains, it pours kind of situation. And that's how I feel with this card. But I do feel like that there's going to be a situation that you're finally going to turn your back on, and I'm not sure it's going to be different for everyone. If it's that job or those coworkers or that those friends of yours or those kids or those parents, because sometimes, even though I'm saying kids or parents, I don't want you to take that the wrong way. It's not like you're really going to turn your back completely on your family members. But sometimes it's your children that, come on, can you give me this, Mom or Dad? Can you give me this? Can you let me borrow this? Can I have some money? Will you watch my kids? Can I borrow your car? Can I? And after a while, you're like, come on. You guys are grown. You guys don't need Mommy or Daddy anymore. You guys need to take care of yourself. Sometimes it could be your parents, especially with this religious factors, that don't agree with who you're dating, don't agree with your decisions or your way of life, possibly. And you're finally like, you know what, I'm an adult, I'm going to do what I want to do. So that's kind of how I'm feeling with this, and it can go in different directions for different people, obviously. But especially with this Six of Pentacles, this is giving and receiving. And sometimes when I get it, I feel like some of you have been giving more than you're receiving. Some of you are like, okay, I can't give anymore. And that's kind of why I feel like this could be your children or your parents or, someone that you just continually give and give and give and give until it just breaks you. Until you're like, okay, that's it. I can't give it to you anymore. I've got to make you an adult. I've got to teach you responsibilities. I've got to live my own life. And that's kind of how I'm feeling with this 6. Now, for some of you, on the flip side of this is you wanting to give your time and your energy and your money possibly and donating it and helping other people Some of you might even be getting a little bonus on your paycheck or getting some kind of money coming in, winning a $20 or $50 lottery and things like that. But for a lot of you, I feel like you just feel like you've been giving and giving and giving and you just don't want to give anymore. Because now maybe you're broke. Now maybe, they've put you in a predicament to where you can't pay your own bills, possibly. But here's the good news, you all, and I'm sorry I had to start it out like that, but here's the good news. Things are changing. Even if you are going through all of this nonsense, look at this beautiful ace and this beautiful ace. Look at these two beautiful aces. Things are changing for you. And then with this Fool card, when I get this Ace of Wands, aces are a new beginning and a new chapter in your life, and you guys are wanting to do something completely different. You're wanting to change your life in a better way. You're wanting to do something different, possibly. When I get this particular ace right here, this means new beginnings in general. This could mean a new job for some of you, a promotion, possibly a raise or a bonus. This could mean a new home. This can mean your creativity and your fire and your passion is finally coming out of you and you're wanting to do something different. If you are wanting possibly, let's say, open a website, or maybe you're wanting to go back to painting or drawing or writing books or crafts of some sort, sewing, things like that. So when I get this card, it makes me feel like your creative energy is starting to bubble up again. So if for some of you, you've done this maybe in the past and it's something that you haven't done for a while and you're really wanting to get back into it. For some of you, it's something brand spanking new. Something that you've never tried before, something that you're dying to do, and you're going to do it. And I love that. I love that your creativity is really coming out of you all. Because there's so many things that you guys can do and that you'll be fantastic at. And then when I get this particular Ace of Pentacles, this can mean financial gain. I mean, if you are possibly getting a new job, you might be making more money. You might be getting a bonus or a pay raise, promotion. But it's not only finances with this particular ace. This can be your happiness, your health, your wealth, your security, your abundance. So when I get this card, the two of them together, for heaven's sakes, you all, things are changing for you guys. Things are changing even if you have to go through this right here and you've got to turn your back on that person or that situation. Things are going to change for the best. So sometimes, just like when the Tower comes in and when the Death card comes in, it's like these things have to change and you have to get a thought or an epiphany or just like an aha moment just like that says, that's it. I ain't doing it no more. So my life can change for the better. Because then your life is changing after. And with this Fool card, some of you guys are traveling, you might be going on vacation, you might be moving to a totally different place. New cities, new states, new countries. But for some of you, you're taking a leap of faith. You're being spontaneous, you're acting like a kid again. And you're like, you know what, maybe it's because you've already raised your kids and it's time for you to do something for yourself. Maybe it's time because you're not happy with your job or with your career anymore. Maybe it's just time that you just said, you know what, I'm going to do something for me for a change. And that's how I feel with this Fool card. And especially with this Seven of Swords over here, it makes me feel like some of you are wanting to go back to school. You might be wanting to take online classes or courses. You might be wanting to study or research or gain information on something completely different. And that's how I feel with this Seven of Swords. So some of you guys are either wanting to switch careers or you're wanting to open your own business possibly and do something completely different. Move somewhere completely different. Maybe you're researching things on the internet that's going to either get you closer to your family or your friends, or maybe it's something that you're going to gain knowledge from. You could possibly get a certificate or your license for something different. It doesn't matter how old you are, you guys. If you're 40, 50, 60 years old and you're wanting to switch your careers, I say bless your heart, go for it. Don't let somebody else say, well, you're middle-aged, you don't need it. No, you need to enjoy what you're doing. You need to appreciate your job and your life. And personally, when you work, every single day, basically, 5 days out of 7 usually, you need to enjoy what you're doing. So if you are wanting to switch your career or do something completely different, I say do it. Do it. I don't think there's anything in this world wrong with that. Give me just a minute, okay? I'm going to rearrange. All right. I hope those are straight, you all. I'm going to put him over here. And I'm going to... So here's the thing. And some of you may have already went through this, and some of you guys it might be coming up in the future, but for some of you it might be going right at this moment. When I get this 5 of Swords, you could be arguing, it could be over jealousy, it could be your boss, it could be your friends or your family, but it could also be a romantic partner. Sometimes this is just in your mind and you're arguing with yourself because of this situation. So it's going to be different for everybody, but I always feel like it's an argument or a tiff where somebody might be jealous of you and giving you a hard time for some reason. Or it's yourself, just beating yourself up. And then when I get this 5 of Wands, it's like these kids are playing in the schoolyard. One of them accidentally hits the other one in the face, and then there's a big old brawl. So I feel like for this could be your coworkers or your family members or even your friends, and there's going to be some kind of drama, Usually there's one person out of every bunch that likes drama, and they always somehow make people argue or bring something up that doesn't amount to a hill of beans, and then all of a sudden there's drama. And then with this 9 of Wands, it's almost like you might wake up one day and you're not feeling really at your 100%. You might be wounded a little bit, you might be sickly, you might have just gotten over a cold or the flu, gotten out of the hospital maybe. And then all of a sudden, it's like when it rains, it pours. Everybody's throwing things at you and obstacles and challenges. And it's just one of those days, possibly, that you just wished you hadn't got out of bed. But you're going to get through it. You are. But then there's going to be something, and it's possibly just a combination of all of this nonsense, and it's been going on for a while maybe. You're going to say, you know what, that's it. I can't put up with it anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. So it could be your job or your coworkers, your family, your friends, your kids, your parents, someone or something out there is aggravating you to death, and you're just going to finally turn your back on it, and you're no more emotionally looking at that situation anymore. You're just like, okay, that's it. Now, for some of you, you've been giving and giving and giving and not receiving. But for others, you've been wanting to give to other people or donating your time or money. And for some, you're getting a bonus or a pay raise. With the 6 of Pentacles, it's giving and receiving, or one or the other. Then when I get this 7 of Swords, I feel like you could possibly be wanting to research something online, whether it be going back to school, whether it be taking online classes, whether you're trying to find a website or an idea that can get you going with a side job. Maybe you're looking for homes. Maybe you're looking for a loan or a credit card. Maybe you're looking for your family members from the past. That's how I feel with this card. Almost like you're wanting to do something that's going to gain your knowledge, and you're going to try to do something different. Then I get these 2 beautiful aces. It's almost like you have to go through this in order to get to the good stuff. So don't get discouraged. If some of you, before I get to the aces, if some of you are feeling like this religious factor, if you're in a relationship that your parents don't agree with, this could be you either turning your back on your parents or turning your back on that person. Some of you with this codependency, you could be turning your back on that person because you're sick of whatever they're putting you through. You're sick of the addiction, possibly. And like I said before, addiction doesn't now always mean partying and drinking and pills and, drugs, but it can. But it can also mean, okay, they're working all the time and you never see them. Or they eat too much, or they, it can go on and on. Some people are just addicted to their phones, honest to goodness. You go to a restaurant and everybody there sitting there playing with their phones, and it's like, really? There's a family sitting there and everybody's on their phone. That's sad. Nobody talks anymore. They'll send you a text when they're sitting right beside you. Oh, mercy. Back to the aces. This particular Ace of Wands, it's a beautiful feeling that I have for you all. This is fire and passion and creativity and something new and exciting for you guys. This could be your creativity. You're wanting to do something different or try it again. Maybe that's where you're researching this website or these ideas that you could possibly sell these items. Or maybe you're wanting a new home or that new job, or maybe you're going to even get a promotion with this, or even a birth of a baby, you all. Then I come over to this Ace of Pentacles, and this can mean financial gain for some of you, but it can also mean your happiness and your health and your abundance and your security. So it almost makes me feel like once you get through this, everything else opens up for you. And then we get the Fool. Some of you are traveling or going on vacation or moving somewhere completely different. But some of you guys are just taking a leap of faith, or you're being spontaneous and taking a risk like you wouldn't before. Because it's time. It's time to do something for you for a change. It's time for you to take instead of give. I've already went over the codependency and the religious factors. Healer of thought. It's time to clean up your life. That's what I just said, you all. Get rid of anything that clutters your space or makes you disorganized. People who take from you but don't give back should be released as well. You or another person involved in this situation is wise, insightful, and caring, has a wonderful sense of humor, and offers a lot of life experience. Well, this is basically saying the same thing I just said. If there's somebody that you just can't give to anymore, you're going to change it. Healer of emotion. This is a time to follow your heart and feel the fullness of your emotions. You may feel so compelled to nurture others that you forget to care for yourself. Flashes of intuition provide you with incredible insights. You or another person is a kind, tender-hearted, loving, and trustworthy friend. Follow your heart. Follow your heart. Sometimes you can only give so much. Follow your heart, just like this Fool is. Do something that you want to do for a change. And look at how everything changes. All right, Gemini. Even though this might be a little tad rough, I think you're going to be tickled with the outcome. I really do. All right, you guys, this is your second half of March reading, March 16th through the 31st reading for Gemini. I hope you guys have enjoyed this today, and I hope you guys come back and see me. Take care, you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.